Okay, guys, I was just going to do a video. Morning, Michelle from Ghana. And I remember I got this recently. Well, Caris David, we decided that we were going to get some African looking clothes. To me, this is just um textile. This is art. The printing technique, the texture on it looks like both printing and batik work, right? So the fabric is, I love the fabric. But when I looked at it the first time, I kept saying, huh? That's too big. But then they showed me how they did it, the strings inside. And they tied the strings at the back to kind of drag it in. So it drags in, kind of pulling the waist. It's still big as far as I'm concerned. I am going to try it on. You're not going to see the full thing, but I'm going to try it on. I didn't really start out for this video, not the clothes. I wanted to tell you something that I remembered recently. So I'm going to try it on and see. Please know, guys, that I tried it on before. So this is it. But I realize these styles are an African thing. Many persons wear it like this here, right? It goes all the way down, right? I guess if you pull in, you get it a little bit in like this, but well, it was my Mother's Day gift. Let me say that. David said she buying it for paying for it for my Mother's Day gift. So I've had it from when we went to prom before, actually, because I got it in the week. But what I wanted to share, I was looking at the girls recently because they have braces. They have braces from in Jamaica. Carissa went to the dentist for a regular clean, and they checked and they said she need a root canal because of the whatever was going on in her mouth. So US. Yeah, well, Carissa is reminding me, letting me know that I said Jamaica. She had braces from the US. Some years ago, when I was in North Carolina teaching, they said she had a cavity and she needed a root canal. Of course, being Jamaican, when they told me that she needs the root canal, I think I remember no, they were telling me that she needs braces. So she needs a root canal. After the root canal, they needed to do a crown, and then after that, she needed braces. So I was saying, lady, when I checked on the price and they told me 5,000, I was laughing. So I was saying, seriously, if we were in Jamaica, nobody would be paying that anyway. I definitely would not be doing it, and whatever condition our teeth, pans out to be, that's what it would be. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and I did the steps. They did the root canal, they did the crown, and my credit card was never the same after that. Never got to pay it off, and but that's not the story. She got braces, right? When we switched to Georgia, I still ended up paying what they said I owed on what was left in North Carolina, and then I had to continue her treatment with the the dentist that I found in Georgia, right? So fast forward to Ghana. When we came to Ghana now, we've been here for months with nothing done about the tea, but treatment has to continue. At the very least, it had to be taken off, right? We had noticed that the top front was protruding despite whatever they were doing in the US. And it was concerning to Carissa, concerning to me, but when things concern me and I don't know how to solve it, I tend to just put it on the back burner, right? So Davia took Carissa and Adriana to their first dental appointment, let them check and thing. And we were told that the American counterpart should have just removed the teeth from Carissa instead of trying to pull it in, because what they did, she ended up with double rows. I had it, but what happened with mine, when a second teeth grew behind the first, it pushed the first one out and just took the place. For some reason, even before we left Jamaica, I was having problems with Carissa's. It wasn't doing what I expected it to do. But anyway, so the short story is, because of that mistake, the her teeth was settling into position, because the additional in the space, instead of using the space to push in the teeth, it was capping out. So 15,000. Davia pointed out that we didn't pay all of that money in the US, and the dentist was kind enough to break it down, so we pay a monthly cost towards the total thing. In the meantime, just like we did in the US, they monitor. So every month they do adjustments to rectify the problem. He still thinks that if it doesn't rectify in a particular period, he may have to remove the offending teeth. Right? Teeth is more than one, right? So I'm praying against that, because each extraction is 400 cedis, right? At the same time, she now has in the full braces. They remove the one that she had and put in a different one. But this one now, this time around, whereas any breakage of the links, or whatever they call them, was absorbed in the cost, in the US, it's not here. So every breakage is 200 Ghana cedis. Yeah. But after sharing that story, what really came to mind was the attention of the dentist. I remember we went there for one visit, and we were late. I should admit, and they asked us to wait in the waiting room, and we waited and we waited and we waited. I think we waited for more than half hour, but we weren't complaining or anything, because we were late. What was surprising, though, was when they called us and we went in, the dentist was upset. Why was he upset? He said he was there waiting for us. All of this time not taking any patient, and the person at the front should have said to him immediately when we arrived that we were there. So we waited for half an hour needlessly, and we wasted the dentist. I said, he was very upset. So that was the first thing. I found it funny that was his reaction, and he didn't hide his reaction. He went out there. I think the assistants were even telling him, no, doc, I'm trying to remember they use his name or not, and telling him to calm down, and he said no, they should have informed us. Not only did they have us waiting, but they had them waiting for so long. So he went out there. I don't know what he said to them, but he was upset. So the last visit, no, we were there after the visit. I think Carissa had 2 breakage and Adriana had 3. So that would have been an additional 6 to the 1,300, making it 1,009 instead of 1,300. And Carissa was 1,007. I remember she was, she knew she had 2 breakage, and she was there stressing herself out about having the money by the time we went for the appointment. When he finished dealing with them, and so he pulled up a chair and said, I need to have a talk with you girls. And he actually pulled up a chair and sat before both of them and said, basically, I don't remember word for word, but basically he was saying, you girls have to be more careful. He has taken off something, and while he has no problem doing that, they can't keep coming in with breakages, right? So he took off, I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 of Adriana's, but he took off. I think all Carissa paid was 1,500, and Davia paid, I think, probably 1,600, 1,700. I don't remember, but they ended up paying less because he reduced it. And this is not the first time he reduced it, taking care of at least one of the breakage. So he didn't charge us for the breakage. So I smiled and I remembered it. And each time I remember it, I smile because when you do something and daddy say, okay, we need a father daughter talk, right? That was the ear I got. That was the idea I got when he said, you girls and I need to speak. You can't keep. You have to be careful what you eat. If it doesn't, because if you eat anything that is too hard, it will break the links. And if each link is going to cost us 200, and I don't have the money to keep paying it, um let me take myself out of it. My daughter Carissa is now working, so she pays for this thing every month. That's our entire salary, by the way. And David, that is like half her salary. So so this is a thing, one of the things with motherhood. Your kids get these privileges, right? So before your salary can go towards you doing anything for yourself, you have to think about what needs to be taken care of for them and deal with it. But I was really impressed with how he dealt with them, how he pulled them into that talk and so on. And let me tell you, they are, because Adriana eats what she wants, and no matter how we tell her, that isn't that too hard, isn't that, she goes right ahead, do it, and then when we it break, annoys me, right? Carissa is a little bit more discerning, but even she takes a risk. No, she's not taking any risks at all. So it seems they just needed that talk. And please note, we have been saying, be careful what you eat. If the fries, we do cassava fries, if the fries is now too crispy, Carissa doesn't eat it, and she usually takes the risk. Adriana, no. Well, she listens more when we say don't eat that, and I think she's a little bit more careful. But I really, really appreciated that talk that the dentist gave them. Really appreciated it. But I thought I'd share that with you guys. When I think of things like that, the taxi driver in oh geez, Secondi, when we went to when we headed to Takoradi the other day, and that driver took us in his car and drove us around for us to find where we were going exactly. And that man stuck with us. In fact, when he left us at that place, there was this place that he left us. They really did deal with Ghana card, but they don't deal with Ghana cards for non-residents and non-citizens, I should say. He drove out just as we heard we were to go to the same place we were trying to reach, and everybody pointing us all over the place except there. We came out and he was driving out the gate, and we were there waving and so on. Somebody from inside that building went across the fence, and you know them language, so I don't know, he shouted him and so, and that man came back, picked us up, and drove us all around until we found the place. And he charged us the regular fare for just a trip. He didn't say, okay, it's usually so and so, but you have to give me so and so because of the IPA driving around. He just charged us the regular fare. In fact, he said, I think he said 15 Ghana cedis, and we were thinking 15 for each of us, which would be 60. So we gave him the 100, and I don't remember what. I think we had to give him something else, or he gave us a change. But when he gave us a change. I think it was 25. And let me tell you, the driving around, even if it was 25, it warranted that because of the driving around, based on where he picked us up from in Seconde and then took us in and drove us around. It warranted that price. So we couldn't cry over it, even though it was, pulling our pockets. We gave him the 100 and he gave us 75. So when we walked off, Davia stood, shocked and was there staring. I'm going to say, yes, you see the difference? Even though he had us driving around on his time, that man gave us back 75 Ghanaian cedis out of the 100. He took 25 for the trip. So the 25 he was talking about is not 25 for each of us. Because one of the things we realize is even on shorter journeys here in Cape Coast, Asebo region, you jump in a taxi from Yamaransa, they say you're going to Betnya, and some of them take 10. I'm in Asebo, and you're going up to Betnya. Some of them take 8, some of them take 10. The other day I was going up to Abra, Abraduka, when I did the permit thing, and the taxi that picked me up at the office took me to the education place, to the permit place for 10 Ghanaian cedis. And when I was coming back from the station, which is a little bit further from the permit office, they took me from the station to the office for 8 Ghanaian cedis. Yesterday or day before yesterday, David came home upset because this man was telling her 15 Ghana cedis to take her to Abagunga from Yamaransa. And she was telling him that she has never paid that. And this passenger was saying after 4 o'clock, this is the price. And this is now somebody who has been taking the taxi every afternoon after 4 to Maury Junction to pick up Adriana and back to Asebo. And they are telling her that that is the usual. So it over here is a miasma of pockets of extortion and mix up sales. And then for these same kind of events you have some I'm digressing bad, right anyway, let me end back on the positive note that I was on. I was talking about the dentists and the good drivers, the good taxi drivers who charged normal despite from experience us thinking that we were going to be charged a arm and a leg. I want to end on that note. I like that dentist, and I am hoping that other experiences, or even you guys come here, you have those kind of experiences. All right, Michelle here in Ghana. I'll see you in another video.